Hey, it's Nay. And welcome back to Nay's Little Garden and Home. So, my Johnny's order came in like I told y'all I made. So, I want to talk about what I got, why I got it, and so on and so forth. So, grab you a little drink, a little snack, and we're going to hop, skip, jump right into it. I'm going to save the one you guys knew for sure I got for last. First thing I want to talk about is, one, you're not going to see any pictures because Johnny's doesn't give us pictures. But this is Eros, the F1 hybrid sweet pepper. I got this for $6.80. This is the organic version of this. Normally, I don't really stress whether things are organic or not, and I didn't stress it when I bought this. The reason why I got the organic version is because the original one was out of the packet size of this size. So the next size up would have cost, it was going to be 100 seeds, and it was going to cost me almost $30. I don't need 100 seeds of anything. That would just be insane. So I was looking at the organic version, and this was on sale as well. So the original one is $6.45. The organic one on sale is $6.80. So for less than 40 cents more, I got the organic version, and it was a packet size. So there are 25 seeds in here. So I'm gonna probably start about 3 to 5. I'll probably start about 5 seeds, 5 to 6 seeds. So a 3 cell will get 2 seeds each. I'm telling you false information. I'm gonna start 5 of these, and they're probably gonna each have their own cell. Because what's great about Johnny's is they also tell you the germination rate testing, and this has an 89% germination rate. So there is a chance every one of those seeds might pop up, and I don't want to be beefing with separating all those seeds and then one of them not make it. I'll be very heated. So the Eros is a part of their small bell pepper collection. Now they have it in red, and do they have an orange? I know for sure they definitely have a red. And I was almost went ahead. Yes, the red one is called Cupid. So they have a red and then this yellow. This is, I'm going to just read you what they have. It's an overstock position, which is why they're selling it. But it's a golden yellow mini bell, the perfect partner to Cupid, the red version. Eros slightly tapered fruits are the same snack size, averaging about 2 inches by 1 3/4 inch, with a sweet and slightly fruity flavor. The large, sturdy, and leafy plants protect the fruits from sun scald. And then they tell you it's bread vibe, blah, blah, blah. The days to maturity is 55 days if you're going to harvest this green, and 75 days if you let it ripen to yellow. I'm probably going to do both because I'm going to want to test out what the test flavoring is like. And this will 90% certain be going in just my green stalks. So I'll probably grow about 4 or 5 of these because it might be able to just take up one entire, or most of one entire, green stalk section. That way I can pluck some greens off and then also pluck off some yellows later on. 55 days is actually pretty quick if you ask me when it pertains to peppers, because I feel like the average pepper is, and this is green, but peppers just take longer. And where it comes to tomatoes, you're waiting for it to harvest so you can get the maximum flavor. Otherwise, it's not going to be as good. I have no problems with green peppers, but I also really like yellow peppers. And I chose the yellow pepper over the red pepper because, one, I am growing some red peppers, but I also feel like when it comes to sweetness, I think I like the yellow one a little bit more, although that could just really depend on how they took care of the plants. But there's a slightly fruitier taste to red peppers, to yellow peppers, than just a sweet pepper taste, which I feel like when it comes to red peppers, they're sweet, but it tastes like a pepper. Let me know if that made sense. Hit the like button. The next one I want to talk about is one I don't even know if I discussed with you guys. I ended up buying this over it wasn't the Sakura one. There was another small tomato that I was telling you guys there was a high chance I was probably going to get that one. I got this one instead for a couple of reasons. This is the Glacier tomato. This I also ended up getting organic. Guys, I didn't do that on purpose. This was $5.50. There are 25 seeds also in this one. The next one I'm going to talk about only has 15. We can discuss why that might be as well. So this is a heirloom tomato. So the Arrows is a hybrid sweet pepper. This is an heirloom tomato, so I could most definitely save the seeds out of this and get the exact same type of plant. I do want to put a disclaimer out there when it comes to the hybrids. Hybrid is not the same as like the ones that people be messing with and creating up weird things and adding weird things to it to have something. The hybrid is just them cross-pollinating, which happens in real life. So you can still save the seeds of a hybrid product of most vegetables. I think the only one you could potentially be a little hesitant on is like squashes, because it could be just not taste good. But like peppers and tomatoes, hybrids are not necessarily an issue. But if I save this Arrows pepper seed, there's a good chance that it will not be the same look as the one I was growing it from. So anyway, this is a Glacier or tomato. It is an early variety, and it's supposedly can handle cold. So let me read this to you. Cocktail-sized 1 to 2 ounce red fruits born on a compact, determinate plant. You guys know I'm trying to get stuff to grow in my green stock. Compact and determinate sounds right up my alley. I also intend to put this either in some type of grow bag, or definitely in a grow bag, but also maybe I might even toss one in a raised bed. My thing is definitely a grow bag at minimum though with the green stock. My thing with this type of stuff is I want to see what are they really consider. I feel like compact and or determinate is so varying, because you could have a determinate plant and it still get 5 or 6 feet tall, and I feel like they would still consider that determinate because it won't grow anymore. You can get a compact plant and it will still be like 4 feet tall. I feel like it really just depends. And then they have like super compact ones that get to like 24 inches or something. Like, so it's just all over the place. So I want to see how small you can get while still getting a lot of fruits. Sweetness combines with moderate acidity to create a wonderfully complex flavor. Smooth internal texture characteristics of the finer heirlooms. That also interested me because I keep hearing people talk about how heirlooms create the best flavor, the best texture, the best this, the best that, and the hybrids they produce more, but it's not as good. I haven't really had as much of an issue, in my opinion, with taste of my hybrids. Like, I enjoy them. So I really want to hone in this year on making sure I'm really grasping what I'm tasting and seeing if there's any that big of an issue for me, because I still think by far any of the hybrids I've grown are by far better than anything you can get in the grocery store. Very nice eating tomato, tolerant of cooler spring temperatures and particularly well adapted to the north. Generally the first tomato to ripen in the field. Watering evenly will reduce splitting. Determinate. So this sounds like, to me, I'll be able to plant these out sooner than other plants, maybe, and they should be fine. So if I grow 5 of these, right? This is an 85% germination rate. If I grow 5 of these and 4 of them come to fruition, I will probably put 2 out early just to see if it survives, and then put the other 2 out maybe like 2 weeks later, and then see what goes on with those, because it's called a glacier, so that would make sense. It could handle cooler weather. This is 55 days to harvest. This is something I would go ahead and, when it comes to beginning of August, that would be when I would start concerning myself. I would August, September, October, let's say end of July, I would start throwing seeds out there for my fall garden. So end of July, I would be looking at spots that I harvested other things. Maybe my beets, maybe my carrots, broccoli. Well, the broccoli should be out by then, but you get what I'm saying. Other plants outside of any peppers or tomatoes, I would start looking to pull those out to plant up my fall garden, right? Even though it's the throes of summer, you either would have to start stuff indoor to put out, or you would have to automatically put seeds out. When it comes to tomatoes and peppers, I feel like not peppers. I think it would depend on the pepper. Like maybe the Arrows I could plant out in July and hope to get one harvest in the beginning of October. So my first frost is typically the end of October. So that would be something I would have to keep in mind. But 55 days to be able to get an heirloom tomato, it sounds really great to me. I'm still going through the tomatoes I had saved in my freezer, and I saved those indiscriminately. So I have big slicing and as well as cherry tomatoes in there. And I'm gonna be real with you, they all make good sauce. I'm not someone that harps too heavily on like this has to be super thick. Like my sauces come out fine. I do not try to remove the seeds. 95% of the time, I'm not even taking off the skin because I'm blending it all together. And I feel like you're getting a lot of nutrients taken out of it when you remove the skin. And my kids don't complain. My husband doesn't complain, and it tastes just fine to me. And it's not like I'm getting skin in my mouth. Like it's blended down. And so I think any tomato can really make you a sauce. Now, if you're canning, and you have to really be real strict on how you have to follow these rules on how you have to make your sauce in order for it to store on the shelf, that is a completely different thing. I'm not telling you to listen to me. I'm someone that I make them fresh, and then I'll keep it in my fridge for up to 5 to 6 days, because I'll make enough for that night and then to put in one of my cans and just keep it in my fridge. And it comes out fine, and everything is really good. So it really depends on what you're using your sauce for, but I just absolutely love this. I'm very excited about this. So that's that. And then the next one that I feel like, I actually had a couple people be like, girl, please keep us up to date on this one. And I will, because she's here. This is the mochi tomato I was telling y'all about. So this is an F1 tomato, so you couldn't really save the seeds. I think I'm going to save the seeds out of one of these. I'm definitely not using all 15 seeds, so I'll have seeds for next year, but I would be interested in seeing what happens, because this is an F1 hybrid, so it's not stable in any way, shape, or form. Very interested in seeing what type of tomato this would make in its second year. Would it still keep the chewy aspect and change shape? Would the chewy aspect completely go away? So I think I'm going to save 1 tomato's worth of this. Let's say I get 10, 15 seeds out of that. I'm going to do that. And then put some of the other seeds next to it, like plants that I grew from this packet, and then from the seeds I saved, and really see what happens out of that. This is extremely expensive. The regular price for this is basically $15. It's $14.95, $15, okay? And there's 15 seeds. So you're paying $1 a seed, which is a lot. It's a lot. So that's that. I got it for a bit of a sale. It's $11.96. So I got it for $12 as opposed to $15. So do with that what you will. And it's an exclusive, entirely new texture. A unique cherry that does not burst in the mouth and evokes a gumdrop-like eating experience. I thought this was new. This is not. Johnny Seeds themselves dropped a video on this a couple years ago, and I don't understand how this has not been talked about more. It's a large 20 to 25 GM. I'm not sure what that exactly means. I have to go look up and see what sizing we're working with. They look like almost little peppers because it's a folds that folded up is like underneath the tomato. It kind of looks like a pepper to me, and it's super shiny. At first, I thought that that's how they took the picture, but Johnny's is pretty good about being real natural about the picture, and they actually talk about it. It says the fruits are thin-skinned and uniquely glossy. Compact, indeterminate plant, easy to train. Fruits grow on long trusses with compact internodes. The double usage of the word compact is very interesting to me because I always get a little confused when they say compact indeterminate. We're going to see exactly what that means because I'm looking at these pictures. The trusses look long. Like there's like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 to 17 on one truss. So then I'm like, it says large 20 to 25 GM. So is that like this big? And there's 16 to 18 of those on there? That sounds insane and very exciting. Now it's indeterminate, which means it'll keep growing, but then it says it's compact. So does that mean it doesn't have a bushing habit? I'm not sure. Harvest regularly and gently, but allow fruits to hang as long as possible for best sweetness. Can be harvested with or without the calyx. it's telling you to be gentle because the fruits bruise easily, but they are resistant to cracking. So cracking would be if it would split, right? The skin would split and now you have juice coming out and it could attract bugs and stuff. Bruising is if you grab it a little too aggressively, it can dent inside and mush, which kind of makes sense. If it has a gumdrop consistency, what would be the texture that would save that? The gumdrop would be more pliable, right? I'm very interested in this. I'm very interested in this. Trying not to be dramatic about it, but this all sounds very, very interesting. And I hope they stressed to leave it on there to grow as sweet as possible, because would you want to be chewing on something savory, like a gum that's super savory? That sounds like it might not be as good, but the chewing consistency sounds insane and really cool. So we're gonna keep each other up to date on this. But it is very expensive. So if you think that there's any chance you might not like a gumdrop chewy, like a chewy tomato, I wouldn't get it, because even for $12 for 15 seeds is a lot of money for some tomato stuff. But I'm gonna try not to make any more purchases. I have everything I need, and now I'm adding stuff that I did not intend to add. But to be fair, the Eros and the Glacier can go on my green stalks, and those are not filled up yet. But I really didn't need to add this mochi, but I'm super excited. Let me know if there's any varieties that are interesting or new for you that you'll be growing in 2026, so I can see, you know? Thank you so much for watching this whole video. Don't forget to hit that like button and that subscribe button. Hopefully I'll see you in my next one. Bye bye.